See me when you talk, I don't know what to say. I'm going. See me when I walk, I'm walking far away. I'm leaving.
Hello, I hope you're doing well. It's getting very warm outside, so that is nice. I'm feeling quite optimistic today. And yeah, the only thing is that I've kind of hit a reading slump, so that I don't really know what to read, and I don't really feel like reading that much, but no, we are here to read. And I have 3 books that I want to read this week. Today is Tuesday, and yesterday I actually read The Great Gatsby, but I'm talking about it in the last week's video, so that's why I'm starting this reading vlog on a Tuesday. But anyway, this week the first book that I want to read is again in Swedish, but in English this is A Midnight Library. I'm going to read this because I heard that it's a very good book, and the chapters are supposed to be quite short, so it's perfect for getting through a reading slump, and that's exactly what I'm hoping that this will do. So this is supposed to be a story about a girl who dies, and then there's a library between life and death, and she goes there, and then there she can kind of read different books or see different lives that she could have had if she would have done some kind of different choices in her life, and that's that. The next book I'm hoping to read is The Power of Now. I think that this is a book that is supposed to guide you into living the here and now. Of course, I don't really know, but the other book that I read by him, A New Earth, was a book that was kind of supposed to guide you to look behind or under your ego. So I'm guessing that this is something similar. And the last book that I'm going to be reading this week is 100 Years of Solitude.
See me looking back, I'm thinking of a time and saying, see me turn around, I'm stepping out of line, I'm running.
Hello, it's Wednesday, and I have some very sad news because my grandma died last night, and I don't know, it feels unbelievable. It feels like I don't believe, it feels like I can't believe that she's gone. But she was a good grandma, and the last time I spoke to her was on my birthday. I remember how happy she was and how much she wanted it to be summer already and all that stuff, but I hope that she got to go to a midnight library of her own And yeah, I have 60 pages left to read from the Midnight Library, and at first I thought that my goal for today would be to finish reading this one, which I of course will do, and then also read as much as I can from The Power of Now, and also do school and stuff. Of course I will still try to do everything, but yeah, I don't know. I'm done reading The Midnight Library by Haig, and this book was super good. It's definitely a 5-star read for me. So anyway, we are following this woman named Nora, who kills herself, and then she's kind of stuck between life and death in a library called the Midnight Library, where she can choose different books, which are different lives she could have lived if she would have made some kind of different choices in her life. And she just tries out a bunch of them, and then she finds out that she has always kind of tried to please people, and she doesn't even know what her own dreams are, and she just doesn't know which life to choose, because if she finds a life that she really likes, then she can stay there. And in the end, she just decides to go back to her life that she had originally, and just pull herself together and try to figure out what her dreams are and follow them. In this book, life is compared to a game of chess or a tree, and I think that comparison is the easiest to understand if we take the one between life and a tree, because when it comes to a tree, then you can see that it has a big trunk that is connected to all the branches and everything, and this is kind of what this book is also about, that everything kind of starts from the same place, but then all the choices you make get you to different outcomes. And when it comes to a tree, you could start from the trunk, and then one of your lives is going to end up here, and then the other one could end up here. Because trees are huge, and we make so many choices in our lives. But anyway, in the end, I think that this book is really trying to tell you to choose wisely and to follow your dreams and really think about what you want, and you are just playing with your own happiness. And it also kind of tells you that as long as you have options and choices that you can make, your life isn't over. And that's the comparison between a chessboard and life. One very interesting thing that I learned from this book was that apparently dogs can smell when it's going to rain. I think I'll just let you read this book for yourself and then find everything out for yourself. But yeah, I really like this book, and now I'm going to start reading The Power of Now. Hello, it's Thursday and I just got back from a package pickup point. I got my new phone, so that solves my phone problem. But anyway, I'm now done reading The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, and this book was really similar to his other book, A New Earth. The stuff in this book was the same, but I would say that this is kind of the easier version to read because this one has questions, and this book is just built up as questions and answers to those questions. I like his books because they just remind me to be present, and this book as well, it's about being present, and it just tells you to live in this moment and accept what is. And it also tells you to really observe your thoughts and your emotions and ask yourself what is going on inside you. And it says that if you live in this moment, if you live in the now and are present, then you don't have those negative emotions, and you have, like, I guess you could say, true emotions that come from inside you. And it says that you are not your thoughts, and that everything that you feel and think comes from inside you. It's your pain body and ego, and you just have to realize that it's not actually you talking, it's your pain body talking, or it's your ego talking. So I really like this, and I think his other books started the same way. But anyway, I will read the beginning of this book because this is kind of true for most people. A beggar had been sitting by the side of a road for over 30 years. One day a stranger walked by. "Spare some change?" mumbled the beggar, mechanically holding out his old baseball cap. "I have nothing to give you," said the stranger. Then he asked, "What's that you're sitting on?" "Nothing," replied the beggar. "Just an old box. I have been sitting on it for as long as I can remember." "Ever looked inside?" asked the stranger. "No," said the beggar. "What's the point? There's nothing in there." "Have a look inside," insisted the stranger. The beggar managed to pry open the lid. With astonishment, disbelief, and elation, he saw that the box was filled with gold. And that gold is hidden behind our egos and our pain body and our emotions. But anyway, I will unbox my phone now, get it started, and then I will start reading 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel García Márquez. And yeah. is actually a really, really nice day. The sun is shining and everything. But anyway, yesterday I read the first 90 pages of 100 Years of Solitude, and this is a very, very hard book to read. There are lots of characters who have the same name, and lots of things are going on at the same time, and it's just hard to understand what is going on and who is doing what and all that stuff. And of course this is magical realism, so it's also kind of weird and crazy and all that stuff. As an example, in this book, insomnia is a disease that you can get from another person or from eating some kind of animal candies. But I will do my best to get as far as I can today. And yeah, so far I don't even know what to think about this book. I don't know if I like this book or if I don't like this book. I think I just have to kind of keep reading. The first of the line is tied to a tree, and the last is being eaten by the ants. Honestly, I'm very, very grateful that this book is over. I got very tired of reading this book, but I think that's just because I really tried to read this book as fast as I could while also getting all the information that I could out of this book. And this is a very, very, very complicated book to read with lots of characters. This is the list of the main characters. This is the Buendia family, and in my opinion there are way too many Jose Arcadios and Aurelianos. But anyway, the book is played in this made-up town or village, Macondo, and it starts with Jose Arcadio Buendia kind of finding that place with his wife Ursula, and they got children, and this is just a book about their family line, about Jose Arcadio, who was the first in line who was tied to a tree, and then it ends with Aureliano, who gets eaten by ants. And in a way, this is about a family prophecy. This is just a book about the Buendia family line from the beginning to end in the village or town of Macondo, and it's also about the beginning of Macondo till the end of Macondo. I don't really know what else to say about this book because, as I said, I got very, very, very tired of this book, of reading this book. It wasn't a bad book. There were times when I really, really enjoyed this book, but there were also these very, very boring and confusing parts to it. And when it comes to understanding the story, I would say that if you want to read this book, then just read more than the first 100 pages, because for me personally, I started understanding the story a little bit more after the first 100 pages. The first 100 pages were just super crazy, and I didn't understand anything. I had no idea what was going on, and it was just like, what, who, where? I'm glad I finished this book and I don't want to say anything else about it, so just bye bye.